My favorite thing about traditional wet shaving is the community that's out there. You don't see that with cartridge razor shavers. They're lone wolves. We are a pack of wolves that are willing to share insights and information and tips and tricks and all that kind of jazz. And I think that's wonderful. That's my favorite part. And then smelling really good, because typically I smell pretty bad. So let's go. Hi there, my name is Greg Tardif. If this is the first time watching one of my videos, you get to see me eat some words today. The King C Gillette is one of those safety razors that I've said was very good. Well, not very good. Said was a good beginner safety razor. And unfortunately, I was kind of wrong. I did a review on the King C Gillette in January. I think it was the first video I made this year. And since then I've tried several other safety razors at different price points. To kind of give you a little backstory on me, I played football in high school. I have broken my fingers multiple times. It's hard for me to hold stuff really tight for a long period of time, or any period of time really, just because of that. And I have kind of like chubby fingers too. So if any of that is applicable to you, you'll probably understand this when I talk about the King C Gillette and what I actually don't like about it. This came up earlier this week. I host Instagram polls in my stories on which razor I should shave with, and it was up against the Edwin Jagger versus the King C Gillette. The people picked the King C Gillette, so I hadn't shaved with it in probably a few months. Because I really just don't like it. It's long, it's heavy, which isn't, inherently bad. It's just, that's what it is. The issues I have is, now that I've gotten into 2 and 3 pass shaves, holding it upside down with it soaking wet, and the way that the knurling kind of circles around the handle makes it really hard for me with my janky hands to hold it upside down steadily. Yeah. So that's one of my biggest issues with it. And with doing 2 or 3 pass shaves, I don't want to switch razors mid-shave. That would be silly, and I would be ridiculous if I did that. That's why I can't recommend this one for most people, I suppose. What I will say about this is it's really shiny. It's kind of pretty. Has a modern design. The scalloped comb on the front, it's really good. Helps get some of that lather moving off your face, so it doesn't gunk up on the mild side of this razor. Just because I can't hold it means I shouldn't shave with it anymore. But I will give you a tip on a razor that I actually do like, and I think similar price point, and is also by Gillette. And I think this one's a good beginner one, or entry-level safety razor, and it's their Gillette Heritage razor. This one's a lot easier to hold. It's not quite as long, which is nice. The box it comes in is pretty dope. This is the box. I think I did a review on this already, but there's a box, and so if you need to store it or take it on a little trip, you could do it that way. The King C Gillette is like $30. You get a cardboard box. For another $6, you get a more usable razor to me with a fancy clamshell box, which is pretty tight. Another razor that I could recommend is this Gillette Tech. Okay, this is a 63. It's a vintage. I got it from the Shave Mercantile. One thing I like about it is when I do my against the grain shaving, there's a little ball that I find just super delightful to hold when I'm doing against the grain shaving, and I think that's pretty neat. Another one that's, and I think these are the Gillette Tech vintages, at least on his site, are about $19. And then this one here, a little bit more expensive, but this is a travel razor too. I've covered it. It's a double open comb Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Flight razor, satin flight, super mild, really easy to get a really good shave, and I think low risk of nicking your face. Obviously, maybe not obviously, especially if this is your first time watching a video, I still love and hold close to my heart, the Edwin Jagger DE86, another 3-piece. The heads on the King C Gillette and the Edwin Jagger are almost identical, almost, but not. It's closer identical to like the Heritage, but I think the blade gap and the comb shapes are pretty close. And I find that the weight in the Edwin Jagger is a little bit better than in the King C Gillette because it's more so in the head, so you get more unaided pressure on your face, which is kind of nice because you shouldn't be putting too much pressure on your face. And then if you want to ball out of control, the Rockwell razor model T2 is my current favorite razor of all time. It's adjustable, but it goes from mild to semi-aggressive, and that's at a $130 price point. Overall, the nice part about the King C Gillette is you can buy it at Walgreens. These other razors, you really can't buy them at like pharmacies and stuff like that. You can get a Vanderhagen, I think from CVS. I've bought it, I've tried it. I haven't even done a review video on it because I just don't like it. I think it's too janky, too poorly made to even talk about any further than this. That's all I'm gonna say about that razor. Piece of junk. That's what I got for you there. You may notice I have some facial hair coming in, and what I'm doing there, I'm growing a mustache, so that's coming back, and I'm also doing like a face map type of thing. I want to see, you know, as a daily shaver, I want to see where the hair actually grows from, just to remind my brain, hey, your hair grows this way, so when I shave with the grain, I'm actually shaving with the grain and not just what I think the grain is. I appreciate you watching this. If you have any questions about any of these razors that we covered, throw it in the comments. If you have another recommendation for a beginner safety razor, let me know too. I'd be more than happy to see what you're talking about, because that's the thing about traditional wet shaving. Like, there's a community of people that are out there willing to help, and that's awesome. So thank you so much.